Hey guys, this is Chris Chamberlain and at College Theater Connection as always. So basically, the question I'm asking this week, which I'm going around and interviewing a bunch of people for, and I'm going to get some of those sound bites up here ASAP, is sort of about the difference between doing theater in an educational setting, like college specifically, and doing it somewhere else out in the real world, either professionally or somewhere else. Um, but I wanted to put my thoughts up on this issue before I started putting everyone else's. So basically, I think something that a lot of people are saying about this when I ask them is sort of a difference in purpose, where in an educational setting the purpose is not as much to be putting on a good show as it is to be educational in its the entire process. Whereas out in the real world, your whole purpose is to solely put on a good show and do that in any way possible. And I think something that I've experienced in doing productions in both high school and college is that the lines between those purpose that the two purposes of being educational and putting on a good show in an educational setting, it moves a lot, in that there are some shows which are very solely about we're doing this show in order to be experimental and to do something that students wouldn't normally get a chance to do, as opposed to other shows which are, even though they are set in an educational setting, are very much about putting on a good show and doing whatever it takes to do that. And you can see that in casting, you can see that in budget and directing, and the overall product and what that means. So that's an interesting sort of question for me, is going into a production, what is the goal, what is the focus of this show? And I'm not saying either one is right, but I do think that it varies per production, or maybe per school, what that question is, or what the purpose is overall of the production. And then another I think big issue with acting and then doing a production in an educational setting is just the fact that any theater department really is going to have a lot of, you're basically going to know everyone that you're acting with or working with pretty intimately, even if you're not the best of friends with them, or what, you don't even really like know who they are. There's still something about, you're in the same department, you're probably familiar with them. I know in my department, at least, it is definitely that way, that pretty much everyone you're in the show with, you're very familiar with at some level, at least. And then also, in my department at least, I know it's not the same for everywhere, but in my department, most of the time, the directors of the shows are still professors. So not only are you in class with the people that you're then going on to rehearse with at night, but then the people who are teaching your class are often the people who are directing you at night, or helping out with the production in some way. And that presents an interesting problem. Not necessarily a problem, but just sort of a state of being, I guess, when you're so close with these people and your entire life really is wrapped around what's going on with them, and then you're all working towards a common goal, but then you're going to class the next day and you're doing something completely different, but the show is still there. That means something interesting to me, I guess. And it's different for every production. You may have one director or one cast where that doesn't really mean that much, where it's just you go to class in the day and then you do the production at night, and they're almost two separate entities. But there are other productions where it's absolutely, you're taking what you're learning in class and trying it out on stage, and seeing the practical application move from class to the stage. So there are a lot of interesting sort of things that come up from this question, and that's sort of why I asked it. So I'd love to hear anyone else's thoughts on it. If you want to send me a response video, write in feedback up at the top of the site, post a comment in this post or anything like that. Really want to hear what other people think about it. So those are my thoughts, and we'll be posting some of my other interviews throughout the day. So thank you.